Good morning, dear sisters and brothers. Today we are talking on a subject which is a crime against humanity. It's a development disaster. It's a black spot on the face of entire humankind. It's a denial of all human rights. That is child labor. Millions of children are languishing in worst forms of child labor today. We know that a lot of achievements have been made, a lot of progress has been made. But despite that, the pace is so slow. If we keep on going with that, it will take hundreds of years to solve this problem and to make sure that all children are given their rights and they are brought into good quality education. Friends, social dialogue is very important. Not as a principle, but as a practice. Governments, employers, and workers are the core of the fight against child labor. But since we are talking about the vast majority of children who belong to unorganized sector, we have to take the entire civil society and media and politicians as well as all sections of society like religious institutions and others into account. Global March always advocated that there is a triangular relationship between child labor, poverty and illiteracy. Therefore, all the efforts which are to be made against child labor, to eradicate child labor, have to be linked with the efforts made for quality education for all children, as well as poverty alleviation programs in the context of decent work for adult workers. Friends, we have international treaties and conventions. We have national constitutions and laws. We have schemes. But in spite of all these, why so many girls and boys are denied their childhood and their freedom, their education and their future? We have to think unitedly. So today's effort is very vital. Every one of us has to take responsibility. As civil society organizations, we have to ensure that how we can work as most effective watchdog. How can we become effective policy partners critically and constructively? How we can create examples, success stories which could be replicated by everyone. As governments, we have to be honest towards our children. We have to keep our promises. Governments must make sure that not only the international laws are properly implemented, basically ILO conventions on worst forms of child labor and minimum age, but also the national laws are implemented properly. As business, the corporations are most responsible. We all know that children are the cheapest source of labor. Children are most vulnerable physically and mentally for exploitation. They cannot form the unions, they cannot go to the court of law, and that's why they are exploited. The corporate sector must be honest in admitting the very fact that large number of children are enslaved, sold and bought like animals, and working in their supply chains. How long they will keep on denying and putting bugs on each other? I have an experience 35 years ago when I started fighting in carpet industry. We saw that large number of children were making carpets which are sold across the world. But when we asked the industry to take responsibility, they said this is not we, it is the suppliers, it is the contractors who are doing. But who is the principal employer? Who is making money out of it? They are corporates, they are exporters and manufacturers, big brands. We have seen this in many other cases. So friends, the brands have to be honest. I know that there are serious issues related to supply chain management. But first of all, the entire supply chain has to be sensitized, has to be brought into confidence. They must know that they are doing illegal things, and they must also feel some sort of economic pressure from the brands. Only then it will work. Friends, the total elimination of child labor, decent work for adult workers, and poverty alleviation, as well as ensuring good quality education for all children is possible and achievable. I would earnestly appeal all of you to get united. We work in compartments, we work in competitions, we work segmented. Today is the time when we must unitedly work against child labor. The second thing is that we have to have a sense of urgency. Children are not going to wait anymore. Their childhood is being ruined every single minute, every single second. We have to work with a deep sense of urgency and make sure that we have to act now. Thank you very much.